Welcome to the Hill Country Nation Sports Wrap Up here for this week. Well, actually, it's show number 5, I think. 6, 5, 5, 6. I can't keep up anymore, Trey. I'll tell you, it's getting all kind of crazy. But anyway, it's a big week. I'm trying to think. I went to Tybee, and sometimes it shows. Just saying.
That's not it. That's not it.
I just don't want Miss Price getting mad at me because I can't count.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, there you go.
1, 2, 3.
You know how it is, it's all good. Hey, Trey, man, hey, thanks for joining us and everything. We got a big show here tonight. We got a seasoned vet, but coming into his own as an athletic director and head coach in football, playing football and baseball coach too as well, man. It's going crazy, but I'll tell you what, man, what a week one we've already had. I mean, we saw some great games and stuff like that. Anything that just kind of stood out for you that kind of a shock and an upset?
Oh, you're asking me what's a shocking or upset?
Yeah, I didn't know if there was something that stood out and just said, like, hey, man, week one, dude, craziness.
Well, I don't know if it's just week one or what, but how close some of these games were this week with Mason, Coleman, Shiner, who they played, Refugio in a close battle again 2 years in a row in week one, but we all know what happened when last year they went back to the state title game, but whatever the case may be. I don't know. I guess the most shocking thing to me was Centerpoint not having a week one opponent.
What?
I know. everyone on Facebook's getting mad. What's Centerpoint for? What's Centerpoint? I'm like, they didn't have a game.
I don't have a game. People were like, what about the Pirates? I mean, our Facebook and Messenger and everything blew up. Man, it was crazy, but we'll have to ask about that. That's right, man, because we have the big gun in the house tonight. Coach Mario Laque of the Centerpoint Pirates has been, in this area for quite some time. He got the head coaching now, just a couple years ago. And, man, I tell you what, it has been a big blessing of him being in the Hill Country. I mean, I have not seen Centerpoint Pirate pride the way it has been for a few years now and everything is just because of how the things are rolling. Well, this guy, Coach Mario Laque of the Centerpoint Pirates, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate you.
Man, talk about the community. I mean, just last week, you had a big thing with the backpacks and, a little shing-ding there and kids and families and everybody just came out to the park and things like that. Christy Richardson was big on that, helping out with that. Just talk about the pride and just the community and the way everybody's embracing Centerpoint Pirate, ready for some football this year.
Yeah, well, it was a big old picnic there. I would say we had maybe 300. It was the first time we had that. And if anybody knows Christy, you give her a few years to put something together, that sucker's going to blow up. Mm-hmm. So we're expecting bigger things next year. But, it was just great to have the entire community together. There was some fellowship, a lot of food, and, just families out there enjoying each other. Some of the kids got to dunk their favorite coach in the dunking booth.
Nice.
Band got to play, got to introduce the seniors, and other notables there. It was just a great time all around.
Yeah, Coach. Like we mentioned earlier, you didn't have a game this week. Did some just fall off, or has that always been in the works, or did you couldn't find a game? What was the case with that? So my head off.
We lost our first game. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we used it to prepare to get some extra conditioning in, and we are all our coaching staff. We broke up into two groups and went and watched different opponents. Our week 2 and week 3 opponents. So we made the most of it, and we're ready to move forward and looking forward to playing Iran.
All right. Well, that didn't count as a question then because I was so shortcut.
Okay, well then go ahead, make another one.
You do have a tough Iran. Is it Iran or Iran? I don't know. Iran. I come from that area. I just still don't. I call it Iran.
I know.
That's going to be a tough opponent, and also you got a couple of other tough non-district opponents: Harper, St. Paul. Just talk about how this non-district schedule is going to help you with this tough district schedule, and how it's going to, help you throughout the rest of the season.
Well, we started off our first scrimmage was against Comfort, which is right down the road, and You know, they're always very, very competitive. And then we went over and played Junction and Winters in a tri-scrimmage.
Right.
So, you know, all our scrimmages, we're playing up. We're playing against quality opponents, getting quality reps, and you know, moving faster, learning our keys, learning responsibility. And that's going to help us carry over when we get to district. You know, we're playing a sound, very physical Ira team. And then West Texas boys, they're going to get after you. And our kids are looking forward to the challenge. You know, we've been coaching them real hard, and they've been responding. And it doesn't get any easier after Iran. You know, we have New Braunfels Christian. You know, they got a quarterback who can throw it, and they're going to test our secondary. And after that, I mean, we go up against Harper. So, I mean, we've got our work cut out for us, and we're working to play hard, play smart, and, you know, stay healthy and just get ready for district.
How about the summer this year? I mean, with the 7-on-7, you had some, you know, some good 7-on-7, but then you had, you know, some good training during the 2-a-days, and then, you know, like you said, with the scrimmage and everything. Just talk about like just finding your own and finding the niche that the kids are having. Because I mean, the talker right now is that Center Point fired up, and they're ready to take some smack down and go with it.
Well, we had a really good summer and strength conditioning program this year. We had a solid group of about 15 boys that, I mean, they got in every day. They were there 95% of the time. And this is after working all day in the sun. You know, that's some good parenting right there, getting their kids up into the, you know, fulfilling both your work and your team responsibilities. There's something about blue collar work ethic, and that just gets coaches excited. And, you know, our coaches were up there, we were coaching them hard, and they were responding. So they're ready. And, you know, we want to, like we said, we want to play hard, smart together, play with joy, and let's go.
I ain't lying. That I was just in Center Point this afternoon, and flags are already raised. People are painting the town. I mean, this talking about the Pirates. I'm excited. I was like, oh, I can't wait to watch them. I'm like, oh, no, whatever. But we will. I can't wait to watch the Pirates and watch the Crows over that.
The buzzards, man.
The buzzards over there. That's all I hear JR talk about. But Coach, I want to get to your players a little bit. Talk about who am I talking about here? Houston. How do you say his last name?
Houston Fuentes.
Yes. Talk about how coming back, running back, he's a fast, speedy runner. Just talk about his leadership skills and how the offensive line is going to help him gain some yards. And then I guess you also have a young quarterback crew as well. Yeah,
well, Houston's a very, very vocal leader. He was here every day in the summer, and he's gotten after it. He's excited. We're excited for him. Our quarterback, you know, he's come into his own. Great leader. He's put on about 15, 20 pounds of muscle. I mean, he's looking really good, and he's become a pretty vocal leader too. And, you know, the kids are following him. They're leading the right way. And we just got a solid group of guys who are just really, really focused on bringing the team together and making us better. They are holding each other accountable, which is an amazing thing.
With your leadership, you know, coming back, you have your squad, some of your squad coming back. Talk about your coaches a little bit, because I mean, not only are you around them, you know, during the summertime, you're starting to build up, but then they become like your brothers, and then you have some new changes and things like that. Just talk about what it means to have those guys not only as your comrades, but at the same time, you know, just to kind of help ease some of the things that you don't have to worry about.
Well, our coaches sacrificed a lot this summer. The staff came up there. I mean, they were there almost daily. Of course, you know, every now and then we had a couple go on vacation, and you need that. And we encourage that. But, you know, we've got two solid hires in Charlie Tilton, who's an ex-Center Point grad. He was in Special Forces in the U.S. Army. He's just a great, energetic addition. I mean, he just flies around and gets after it, and the kids really respond to him. You know, our defensive coordinator is Brent Ryder. He's former head coach at Crosbyton. You know, he's brought some changes in our defense, and the kids have responded well. And then everybody's favorite Papa Bear, Jerome Perry. He's still Coach Perry, and the kids respond to him. The kids love him, and he's, you know, all three are great additions. We have Coach Matt Whitfield and Coach Shannon Carrington, who coach in the junior high, and they're doing a good job getting those boys ready, because they are the future. And we get together. They all came over to my house. They brought their families over, and we had some good fellowship, some good talk, and like you said, they become family. And the wives are close. The wives genuinely like each other, so it's a good thing. It's a real good thing right now.
Yeah, Coach, like we said, you didn't have a week one opponent, unfortunately, but just talk about this week being week one for y'all, and what do you have going on for the rest of the week leading up to game? Like what's coming up tomorrow, Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, well, tomorrow's our Wednesday workout, and we cut it short a little bit, and this is where we decide what plays are not going to work. We're just not running them up to par, so we'll scratch those. Afterwards, we're inviting the kids to invite over a hero of their choice. I'm calling it Helmets and Heroes. It's the first time we're doing this. And they choose a hero, and they'll come in, and we'll talk to the heroes, and we'll tell them what our mission is as far as with their student, with their son. This is what we're trying to reach. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Basically, it's an extension of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And we invite them to put the decals on their helmets and have some bonding together.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, we're pretty excited about it. Earlier in the year, we had our second annual Moms Football Bash. And nice. the moms got to run some pass routes, catch a few passes from their sons. They actually got to watch their son run a play, and then they ran the play. And that was cool to see. And then finally, we put a bunch of dummies on the ground, and we let the moms come and tackle their senior son. Awesome. I tell you what, Houston Fuentes' mom lit him up. That was the hit of the week.
Nice.
There's got to be a video out there somewhere.
And on Thursday, our teen moms got together, and they're going to cook some fajitas for the boys. We're going to meet at the church, have some fellowship.
Well, Trey might just be over there at the church on Thursday.
Yeah, we've got some really great moms involved, and afterwards they're going to go and decorate the lockers for the kids.
Awesome.
Nice. Speaking of food, so like now game one's coming up for you guys, and it's your Thursday. You're already talking about fajitas. Awesome. But it's Friday. And you got things going on, plays you're looking over. Maybe you might do this and that. And then, of course, making sure the jerseys are all good and things. It's snack time. It's food time. It's lunch time. Do you have a go-to sandwich or food or a meal on Fridays that you just got to have on Friday?
I don't say I have one in particular, because sometimes I have time, sometimes I don't. I don't have a set schedule. But if I can, I'm going to head over and get me basically a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from Los Dos. I like that. If I can, I'll just happily tackle one of the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Okay.
Yeah. Any of that? Come on now.
It's been a few years, man. It's been a few years. Yeah, it's been a few years. I kind of laid off of those that I needed to.
Good, because those things are pure sugar.
Yeah. No dice.
I heard.
I'm glad you remember that, though.
Yeah, well, back in the day, I remember Coach Walton talking about that was your IV of choice.
I was a 2 or 3 can a day guy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, talk about sugar crash.
Yes, sir.
All right, I want to get back to the football part since JR just wants to talk about food. I just had big meals, so I'm like not even hungry, so I'm not even talking food anymore. I want to get back to your district. It's a tough district I was looking at this year. You got Sabinal, Rock Springs, who are ranked probably in the top 25 in a lot of polls. You got Bracketville, who's going to be back and better. Tejanos is always a tough out. Of course, you got y'all, LaPryor, and then Charlotte as well. You have 7 teams fighting for four spots for playoffs. How are you getting your kids motivated to finally get that playoff berth this year?
Our kids are hungry, but every kid in the district is hungry, and every team is very soundly coached. They're very good guys. They know their craft, and they get their kids motivated. So it's always, any given Friday night. I mean, you got to bring your best. You got to prepare, and you got to get your kids ready. And sometimes it's 2 or 3 plays that make a difference. And you got to have your kids ready for those 2 or 3 plays. They got to seize the opportunity, seize the moment. And that doesn't come, luck favors the prepared. So you get your kids ready for that Friday because you never know what's going to happen.
That's so true.
Yeah, talking about that, I mean, with that tough subject, it was one of those things. I'm going back to food with the play and the football and stuff. But one of the things was talking about how Center Point is hungry for getting back into the playoffs, and it's like eating soup with a fork. Is that kind of what your boys are looking at? I mean, as far as their practice ethics, when it comes to the classroom being focused and things, they're eating soup with a fork?
Well, they are. I don't know about that, but I know they're holding each other accountable. They're telling that, they're in each other's grill about getting their work done, about doing the right thing in class. If something's going on that needs to stop, they're stopping it. So, we're very proud of that. And it's going to carry over to the field. It's just an extension. And we're looking forward to the good things that are going to happen this year. They've worked hard.
I mean, they had to work hard with this heat that we've been having this year.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I'm out there watching my daughter's soccer game for 30 minutes. I'm already stripping down the sweat, and I'm not even doing anything. She's over there running around. But I was like, oh my gosh, how do these people do these in pads? But Coach, I know your Center Point's got to be a lot to be proud of this year, and a lot of good players coming back. But what one position unit that you are most excited about for this season more than any other?
Well, we got a very, our guys worked hard in the summer. They're very strong. They've made some great gains in the weight room. We've got guys doing, squatting 3 wheels, 4 wheels. It's 400 pounds.
Right.
And that's across the board. We got some really strong kids. We're hoping to have those gains transfer onto the football field. Mm-hmm. We got some speed in Hector Cervantes, who's a senior. He's very hungry because he tore his ACL in 7-on-7 last year and didn't play it down.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay,
We're glad to have him back. We have some youth. We got JP Peralta. He's our fullback. He's only sophomore, but the guy, he's got good feet. He's a good, solid kid, and he can move some weight. Trying to get him to transfer that, find another gear, and he can be a load. He can be a problem for defenses. In the right situation. We have Rene Rodriguez up front. He's a senior. Y'all remember him from last year. He roamed sideline to sideline making tackles.
Yes, he did.
His brother Dominic is really good. Have Isaac Cervantes, Jaron Cooper and Jeremiah Vela. They've done some amazing things in the weight room. We're hoping that to transfer. They play tight end for us and turn right around and play defensive line. So they're not afraid to get a little nasty up front.
Okay, I got a 2-for-1. So we're going to see number 10 being played this year. And what are you most excited about, your offense or defense?
Well, since I call the offense, I'm going to say the offense. Okay.
Yep.
We're looking forward to doing some good things.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you had another question. Sorry. Two for one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Coach, any worry whatsoever not having that week one, going by a week off with this heat and everything, going from scrimmage? Your kids came up good with the scrimmages, pretty much healthy, in shape. But any worrisome that you're going to have a lot of cramping coming up this first game?
Well, we prided ourselves on really conditioning them hard, and we did that again this week. And as far as not having a game week one or the weather being hot, we push the philosophy that we can't use our energy on something we can't control. We can control how hard we work, but we can't control how hot it is. So we're going to work hard, and we're going to give everything we have, and we're going to try to get better every day. And if you get a little bit better every day, it's going to add up. And our kids have bought into that. They're kids. There's been 1 or 2 days where, man, we've had to really, really pull teeth to get them, because that's just being a kid. And they've done for the most part really amazing, and we're really happy. And we're looking forward to hitting somebody else.
Amen.
Okay, I got to do this real quick because if I don't, I get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble. But I want to say that this episode of the Hill Country Nation Sports Wrap-Up Show is brought to you by Deja Vu Custom Embroidery right here in Kerrville, Texas. I tell you what, they do our Hill Country Nation Game of the Week hats, shirts. We're going to have some T-shirts hopefully soon, and then just different little things like that. But It doesn't matter if it's custom embroidery or you got some T-shirts that you're really just wanting to get out, like Pirate Pride, things like that. Deja Vu, custom embroidery. Visit them online or just give them a call and tell Cassandra and Jay that you heard about them right here on the Sports Wrap-Up. Coach, it's a big year. I mean, everybody's like hungry. The crowd is hungry, the community, the school, the kids, you. But talk about just the way how you're out. And then, the wives are just like, they are just rock stars, in my opinion, the way they are. But how's Carrie and and the family and the boys and just talk about, I mean, because she's got a busy schedule, you got a busy schedule, but y'all work it out. But at the same time, bam, I mean, y'all there for each other.
Oh, yes. No problem. 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
She has her career. She does amazing at it. She's probably coming home here in a few minutes. She definitely, Sunday, she pulls the load, takes care of everything that needs to be done. Jake, starting his sophomore year at Shriner.
Nice.
Working, he's got a car payment now. He's taking care of business that way.
Yeah.
Luke is starting at cornerback right now. And he's finding his way. It's varsity year, his first varsity season. And it's something that, I'm grateful for. I had a situation a few years back that just changed my whole mindset. And every day, no matter how hot it is, it's a blessing. And it's a blessing. I get to be around these kids from Center Point. And there's a guy upstairs who took care of that. And I'm extremely grateful for it. I don't take it for granted one bit.
Nice.
I have Scott Turner in the chat saying, touchdown, Center Point.
Oh, I missed him, man.
I missed that guy.
Yeah, you remember, huh? I'd be all right.
Oh,
Touchdown, Center Point.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes, sir. I missed that guy.
Made that go. Talk about how important it is for your guys. Like you got your staff that's up in the press box, but then you got everybody else that's kind of keeping your stats and things like that. That's big because that kind of helps you out, and your scouting team, because that helps you out with the next week as well, and kind of what to watch for.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I know everybody's got a job to do, and it's discussed beforehand. Everybody takes pride in their job. We take our stats pretty seriously, from our opponent and from our games, and we find out, hey, where are we showing a tendency? What are we doing that we need to fix that our opponent can use against us? So, I mean, we got a lot of work that we do on Saturday mornings. We really do. We clean house, clean the field house, get it going. We eat a little bit, and then we get to watching video for a long time. And there's, 6 grown men in a room not saying a word for about an hour or two, just watching. All you hear is clicking. And then we get together, and then we'll talk a little bit. And, we got to be with our families. That's important. So we'll break for the day, and we'll talk on Sundays and have our game plans ready. So that's a good solid day on Saturday. It's going to be even more longer with this 3.5-hour drive from our end. Right.
Yeah, I'm not joking. That's a long. I'm from Ozone. That was a long stinking drive. But not only, y'all got a long ways to go this year. I mean, you got Sabinal, you got Bracketville, you got Bracketville's God,
it's going to be great. And it's going to be great.
Great team quality, right?
That's exactly it, right there.
It's good. It's Texas football.
Exactly.
Texas football. Exactly. You get to be a part of it.
That's right.
I just wish UIL could ask me how to realign districts.
Exactly.
I do a lot better job than what they do. I love you. I'm just saying, there's some districts I just stretch my head on.
I know. We're just going.
Well, we're sitting at 156 kids as of today. 156, and that's about, I'd say, about 10 to 12 under the cutoff.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we thought we were going to go up for sure, but some things happened over the summer, and we had a few kids who graduated as juniors.
Oh, okay.
And some freshmen didn't come back, so we're sitting at 156. Like I said, but I mean, who knows? It might be 155. Who knows? It's out of our control. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. Coach, I mean, you're an even keel guy. Like, nothing gets under your skin, I don't believe. But I do want to know, what's the one pet peeve you have as a head coach and athletic director?
Well, if you saw me this afternoon, you would be saying otherwise, sir. Punctuality.
Mm-hmm.
Punctuality. Yeah. My dad always said, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late, son.
Mm-hmm. Hope my wife's hearing that.
No way, you did not say that.
Dude, I said, Trey, what time do you need to be at the soccer field? We need to be there at 10. She's ready to leave the house at 10. I'm like, dude, what? Oh, okay, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, punctuality. I remember the same way, man. Back in the day, if you don't leave 15 minutes early, you're already late.
Exactly
Yes,
right.
Yeah, so that's it, Coach. You know, we're on your pet peeves and everything, but at the same time, I mean, you're like it, like making sure, like when the kids come in, they got not only after practice and stuff like that, but I understand that they got certain chores that they have to do as well.
Well, we have them, you know, sweep the field house. We'll have pride teams. Make sure your stuff is stacked where it belongs. They got to put their laundry up, pin their clothes. And, you know, we kind of encourage them to hurry up, get your stuff squared away, get yourself cleaned up and go. You know, go be a kid where you can, go do your homework, go take care of business. But we don't leave our, you know, locker room in shambles. That's just not going to happen. And the kids respond to that. They've embraced that. It's just part of what they do now. And even though one of them will mess up once in a while, they'll leave a sandwich out. They'll leave, you know, the kids sock on the floor, and you know they'll pay real quick, and then we move on. It's nothing we make a big deal out of.
Character building,
something like that. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to steal JR's question because I really want to know.
Good.
What is the 2023 Centerpoint Pirates motto?
Well, the kids have come up with a few, you know, but we are, you know, defensively, we want to anchor down.
Anchor
when
down.
we need to anchor down.
Love that.
Their mentality a lot, you know, I've heard a few mention it. I mentioned it once in the summer, and a couple of kids have caught on to it. It's, you know, anybody, anywhere, anytime, you know, and they just want to play hard, play smart, play together, and play with joy.
I like that. I can see that already on a shirt. Centerpoint anchored, hashtag anchor down.
We got flags already.
That's awesome. Nice. That's sweet. Like when you guys get together most of the time, and this is kind of like understanding with you guys with team camaraderie. I'll get it out there. Coming up with something like anchor down and you know, those things. That's more just for the team to say what they need to say, and you guys just kind of go with the flow, or do you have an input on that?
It depends. You know, we'll see how the energy goes. If the energy is going in the right way, we'll let it go and see where the kids take it. You know, if it's going in the wrong way right away, we'll put the kibosh on it and stop it. But you know, again, we're really liking letting the kids hold each other accountable. I think that's real important.
Yeah, nice.
All right, Coach. I don't want to throw Centerpoint under the bus because there's a lot of good places to eat, but where is your favorite restaurant to go to? Your go-to restaurant in Centerpoint?
Los Dos.
That's what I was fixing to say. That's fine.
Close. Jose's a good guy. Good food.
It is very good food. Very.
Yeah. Although La Tapatia is pretty that gummy.
Yes, they are. They got some good barbacoa, man. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, I haven't been there as much as I should, but yeah, that's a pretty good place.
Yeah,
got some real good tacos.
Yeah, we have to stop there every now and then to get the barbacoa taco.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Coach, we appreciate you being on the show. I know we got a few more questions we want to ask you, and then just kind of go from there. But when you go against Iran coming this Friday night and everything, what is one of the things you want to see just right out of the gate?
I want to see us come out fighting right off the bat. And when we're in scoring position, I want us to finish the drill, not shoot ourselves in the foot, finish what we've started. You know, I want us to, just like we've done in our scrimmages, I want us to play hard. I want us to get, you know, have some energy, fly around and do our job and trust our guy next to me to do his job. And I've told the kids, if we do that, you know, everything will take care of itself. But we've got to come out with some energy. We can't be complacent. We can't sit back to see what they do. We've got to come out. We've got to play.
You probably answered this early before, but I just want to show your other coaches some love. Just talk about your coaches and how big of a help they are this year with the 2023 Center Point Pirates.
Oh, yeah. It's great, being able to delegate and knowing the job's going to get done. Part of being a head coach is you want to, work to replace yourself. You want those around you to get better to where they're ready to move on and take their own program. And we've got a lot of guys. We've got one guy already who was a head coach, and we've got other guys who have potential to be offensive coordinators in a few years. They're learning their craft, and more importantly, they got to love kids, and every single one of them is in it for the kids. We're in it for the right reasons, and they're putting kids first, and they're sacrificing a lot for our kids, and they love our kids, and they coach them hard, and that's all I can ask.
Coach, you came from, growing up, playing ball, things like that, and you were around a lot of coaches, in your day, and then you got to the pleasure to be under some of the coaches and stuff. What is it that, have you taken any of those guys' kind of flavor and incorporate with you at the same time, or are you just more kind of building your own, or maybe building off of theirs with your own flavor? How are those guys just influenced you through the years, and do you keep in contact with some of them? I asked like 15 billion questions. We'll just go there. Those guys had influencing you, and just kind of go from there.
I was very fortunate enough to play for the legendary Sonny Detmer.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonny Detmer he wasn't that real vocal rah-rah guy. He wasn't the intimidating guy. You knew he cared about you. He let you know it. I mean, he was a happy-go-lucky guy. He could have a conversation with you and, teach you things that you're going to need in your life. Bill Lehman, he was our lineman coach, and this was in high school as well. He used to wrestle under the moniker as the Spoiler back in the day. He wore a mask. He wore a mask. He was the complete opposite of Sonny Detmer. This guy would get in your face. He was a wrestler. He was very intimidating. And then we had another guy named E.C. Lee. And this was the guy who held you accountable, who coached you hard, who never cursed. And at the end of the day, you knew all of those coaches loved you. And, I was just talking about this with my wife the other day that, all three are gone. And kind of try to emulate a little bit of what, it stuck with me. And I can see when I'm coaching a kid up, I can see the time that Coach Lee told me the same thing, that Coach Lehman told me the same thing. I can see that. And I think it's just, I'm so, so blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah. One last question for you, Trey, and then I got one last one.
This is your second year, right, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Second year. I can remember second or third. Talk about how this year, how the players adapted to your coaching philosophy from year one to this year. Do you feel like it's more confident, everyone's like, all right, I have an idea of what's going on, or is it the same as it was last year?
Well, they seem to be chomping at the bit a little more. Like I said, I think they're ready to play against somebody else instead of just playing each other in practice. We can see that, they're moving a little more. They're flying around a little more. In the off season, we had a lot of competition drills where they had to really get after each other. And it wasn't like lifting weights against each other. It was like man to man, let's get after it and wrestle and just have to impose your will on someone. And we're hoping to see that transfer to the field on Friday and this season.
Well, one last final question, Coach, and it's something I always enjoy to ask coaches because it helps motivate me at the same time, but I get to learn more about you. From last year being your first year up until this year getting ready to go in game one, this year, what makes Coach Mario Laque Mario Laque?
Okay, I'm sorry you broke up on me, just like yesterday at the end.
Oh no!
What was your question again, JR?
So going from last year being your first year up until this year, now getting ready for week one, what makes Coach Mario Laque Mario Laque?
Uh-oh. Always.
Whoa. Gonna be out there trying to lead with some energy. I want our kids to see that their coaches are confident, that we've prepared them the best we can, and that they have to bring that energy. They have to bring that confidence and a little bit of nasty to every game, to every practice, because that's something that life is going to demand from them. And that's something I want them to gain from our program.
Awesome.
That's awesome, Coach. Awesome, man. I always enjoy talking to you. I can talk to you more and more for hours of different levels of different things. And so, but yeah, I definitely got to get you guys over here to my house. And,
man, I always enjoy talking to you. Talk to you more and more for hours of different.
Have some barbecue. Go from there.
Great.
Awesome. Well, Coach, if you got a few minutes, we'll hang around here for just a moment, but we want to we thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We've been looking forward to, your week against Iran Braves and being on that road and looking for some good things coming out of the Point this year for sure. As a Pirate Pride, man, it is like on like Donkey Kong. That's kind of what's been going on, man. Thank you, Coach, so much. We really appreciate you and your time. And please tell Miss Carrie hello. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Will do. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you.
Hang on. All right, that's going to do it for another episode of the Hill Country Nation Sports Wrap-Up Show here tonight. We want to appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And, hey, it doesn't matter. Even though the show is over, you can still make comments and everything. Give some shout-outs to Coach Mario Laque of the Center Point Pirates right here. And, of course, we will have one more tomorrow. Thursdays, usually coaches are doing their thing or whatever, so we won't get to really talk to them at all. But and Friday, big game of the week. Steelers Cowboys at the Bandera Bulldogs. We will have the Harper Longhorns against the Center Point Pirates. That will be a game of the week. So sure can't wait for that one. All right, for Jay Collins, I'm J.R. Alexander saying so long. See you later till tomorrow night. I am out of here.